All right, we're live.
Hello.
Hello? Oh, I see it.
Hello, everyone. This is episode 13 of Riichi Out to Mahjong
13.
Friends. Yes. In this episode, we have two guests. Um, Neither of them are with any organization in particular, so we'll just let them introduce themselves. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Hello, I am known as XGeo online. I've been playing Mahjong now for about 6 years, and I've most recently went to a few tournaments in the past few years, such as the WRC and I guess Rochester. I guess my first IRL tournament was New York City Open. And I've also participated in online tournaments such as the IORMC, which we'll talk about later. And I've also done some scanlation work with Tetsunaki no Kirinji and
Oh,
Legend of Koizumi as well. So those are some other things I've done in the online Mahjong community.
My
nice.
turn now?
Yes, go ahead.
So hi guys. I'm known as Miyokun at LAPOM. My real name is Zishuan, if you guys know it, you know. And I've been playing Mahjong for 8 or 9 years, I don't remember. And then I've been to some, I live in the United States now, so I've been to some like tournaments around here. I think my first tournament is also the New York Open. I think that was back in 2014 or something. When I first met XGeo there, yes. And then yeah, several other tournaments like the WRC last year. And yeah, nice to meet you guys.
Okay, normally we would ask the questions of like what organization you're with, how you got into mahjong, and your goals. I think I mentioned earlier, neither of you are with any particular organization, and you kind of covered your mahjong history already. But I don't think either of you said what initially got you into mahjong.
I can go first. So actually, my family is actually Chinese, but none of them play Mahjong at all.
Oh,
And
really?
the way I got into Mahjong was in my second year of high school. I was studying for the SATs, like the test you need to take to get into college. And my parents sent me off to a Chinese study camp, as intense Chinese parents do to their children. But there I discovered the other kids were playing Mahjong. And so I learned the rules of basic Chinese Mahjong there, of how to like build a hand. And I really loved the game. So during all of my breaks for studying, like I played Mahjong so much, they ended up banning Mahjong at the camp. So that was a sad time. But after that, I was completely hooked. And I found out that my high school had a local Mahjong club. And I also discovered like Mahjong manga after that, such as Saki and Akagi. And this also like kind of coincided with when I got interested in anime and manga as well. So that kind of helped motivate me. And finally like learned about online resources like Osamuko and Tenho, and then I finally started learning and practicing a lot from there.
That's a nice camp you attend.
Yeah.
A mahjong camp.
No,
SAT camp just turned into
SAT
Mahjong
camp.
camp.
Yeah. I was kind of the ringleader of the Mahjong there.
Well, so yeah, I guess I'll talk about my how I get into Mahjong. So, I'm not American. I was born in Shanghai, China. So, um, but but same as XGO, my family does not play Mahjong at all.
Wow.
But some of my like pretty far relatives, they kind of play. But then I heard like my grandfather, he he passed away before I was born, but like I heard my grandfather really likes it. And then there's just some day I just want to try it, you know, and then I just get into it. But then, of course, I started playing Chinese Mahjong, and then I think it was in when I just got into high school is when I started, you know, getting into manga, anime, and stuff. And then I figured out, you know, the Japanese also play Mahjong, but they play like a different rule. So like I started learning it, and you know, ended up actually playing it. So that's basically how I get into it. Yeah.
So both of you started out playing some sort of a Chinese mahjong, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So from what I've heard, and please correct me if I'm wrong, there's no one like standard set. Like everyone just learns what their relatives teach them in China, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of rule variations
Yeah.
for Chinese mahjong.
I played a Shanghai Mahjong. You know, in Shanghai Mahjong, there's like, there's also like kind of the Han and the Fu system, but like it's a little bit too complicated for people to remember. So people just play literally 3 yaku, Hoinzi, Totoi, and Qingzi. It's basically the 3 of them. So yeah.
That's how a lot of new players with Riichi Mahjong play too.
Yeah, like, you know, when you get to when I teach Riichi Mahjong, I told them to remember, you know, Tang Yao, Liqi, and Yakuhai first, right? It's just these 3 kind of stuff that's the easiest. So
Yeah, that's right. All right. So, and then, do you guys have any future goals, any short-term or long-term goals with regards to Mahjong?
For me, it's mostly just about trying to get better. So it's always like trying to figure out like what the next step is. So I guess for me, maybe get to the whole lobby on Tenho. So I guess that would be my next tangible goal.
That's really tough. How close are you right now?
I'm currently a 6th dan, so 1 more rank up, but it's feels like a long way to go.
Yeah, it can be brutal from what I've heard.
Yeah, it probably requires me to play a lot more, but I feel like there's like something, I don't know what I don't know yet, so it's hard to improve.
And Mio, did you have any short-term or long-term goals?
So, you know, I'm actually moving to Japan next year in April. And then, you know, this might sound like pretty ambitious, but I do want to become a Mahjong pro.
Oh, that's a great goal to have.
Yeah, I do want to, especially, you know, this week they announced like the M League or something. And then I do feel like, you know, the Mahjong pro market has a very bright future, I guess. So yeah, I do want to be a Mahjong pro. You know, if I'm moving to Japan, why not, right?
Oh,
You have
exactly.
an interesting story behind that from the
What?
WRC Batsuge.
Oh well, okay, it's kind of interesting story. So you know, last year's WRC, when the other players are eliminated from the qualifying rounds, and then, you know, I was playing with a Ide Kohei pro, you know, the guy with like pretty, you know, Liaju look, but and then yeah, so we played, you know, we played like Tompusen after the qualifying just for like a side event or something, and then I actually played him twice, and then in the first match, like he took first place and I took second place, and in the second game he's like, okay, if you lose to me again, you gotta do a Buster game, you know, and just like, how do you say that in English? Buster game.
A penalty game?
Yeah, it's kind of like a penalty game, and I was like, okay, sure. But then I was around 40,000 points or something at top, and then he got a Baiman something, and then got first at the end. And I was like, okay, just tell me the penalty game, what the penalty game is. He thought about it, and then he said, I heard you want to become a pro, so your penalty game will be just coming to Japan and become a pro. I was like, oh man.
But surely you would have wanted that anyway, right?
Yeah, yeah. But like just Ide just saying that it's pretty cool. Like what is this stuff like from? It's almost like words from manga and stuff, right? You're about to game just to become a pro. I was like, what?
Yeah. Have you thought about which pro organization you would consider joining?
I'm definitely thinking about Lemma right now because Lemma is the biggest and the toughest. I'll say the most tough one.
Oh, then JPML.
Yes, JPMO.
You haven't like considered any of the other ones? Like, not that I know
Uh,
much about any of the other leagues, but
Yeah, there are several like Saikoisen and then there's like Kyokai and stuff. But you know, I just want to give myself a challenge. So why not just go into Lemma?
So, Mio-kun, what about the M League?
Oh, I know the M League is like kind of a different system, right?
Yep, top of the top.
I mean, I I can't just start there, you know.
That's you need to get in the draft.
Yeah, like I mean, if I won the diversity last year, maybe I can start there, but
But it just the news from this week, I think, the M League.
yeah, it's this week.
It is kind of crazy, like never happened before. Do you guys following those news a little bit?
Yeah, I checked it out, and then I think it's pretty cool. And then they're trying to take the game into like an Olympic level, right?
Yes, and also the official sponsoring company owns the club team.
Yeah, I see it.
One team is for 3 players, and then there is going to be the draft pick.
Yeah.
But one thing that's crazy thing is the sponsor company get involved. It's never happened before. So I think Mio-kun knows about a little bit on the Japanese pro, like how was it? They became the pro. Like there's so many groups, right?
Yes.
Can you explain a little bit to listeners?
So okay, well I'm not like a professional on these things, but well the thing is they call themselves pro players because they're in these pro leagues, but doesn't mean that they do this as a full-time job, you know. Maybe some of the like the very top level guys do it as a full-time job, but most of them do like kind of a part-time job, and it actually doesn't give them so much money, so they have to actually have a real job
Yep.
in order to support
Yep.
themselves, and then use their free time to play in this league and then try to get to the top. So yeah.
So as the past episode, we have invited JPML Pro, Takeda Pro, and then how many years it took to get to B1? About 10 years. So which is pretty tough because they have so many ranks. And then in order to get the champion, you need to go to the A1 league, and then he still have 2 more steps to go.
Yes.
And then different kinds of pro groups. But now one big association for the league. The new league is gonna start from every I don't know how to say. The 7 company will draft pick 3 players from everywhere from 5 groups of the pro. Then they'll play 80 games in 6 months to get the championship.
Yeah, I think so.
And then also they say they are gonna expand more second league, like M League, M2 League, M3 League, if there's gonna be the sponsoring companies get involved. And also they are trying to work it out for those local community league game, I think. So we don't know yet. 'Cause again, those things never happened before. So it's so new, but it's kind of revolutionary incident just happened in the Riichi Mahjong.
I think it's a big step for Riichi Mahjong. You know, the system kind of turn it into a pro sports system. You know, they have like the drafting, and I do think those players, they get directly paid by the team.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
and then
yeah.
they're not allowed to gamble on Mahjong
Oh.
anymore after that.
Good one.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Yeah.
And then hopefully it will take a time, but slowly those bad side of the image of the margin is shifting to clean image.
Yeah.
So that's really good thing. Like we have nothing to do with it, but it's kind of good thing, I think.
Yeah, like outside of Japan, I guess we don't really see that bad image. Like we're not affected by it, but I guess it is a real big deal in Japan. So it's good that they're moving away from that bad gambling image.
Yes. And then one sad thing was spoke with the Donnie from Dallas. He right now a lot of company is moving to the Texas Dallas area because of the Toyota headquarters moved, and then many Japanese company is following to moving to the Texas right now. And then Donnie found that there's a Japanese business association or some kind of clubs, and then he tried to find some good players or somebody could teach them. And then the Japanese community say, "Oh, Mahjong, that's a so bad community, so we can't do that." That was kind of sad story I heard. So those things slowly but hopefully changing to better. Make sense?
Yeah. I think it's a really good step for the whole community.
Okay, so we have a lot of different things to talk about. So what should we talk about next?
Let's move on to Tenho stuff.
Tenho stuff like the IORMC?
Yes.
Okay, so we have that up on the stream right now. So it just started last weekend, I believe, but the qualifying rounds for the USA and Canada for this what is it stands for International Online Riichi Mahjong Championships. So from what I can tell, you have to qualify in like these you play in these sets of 4 games, and if you score highly enough, you can represent your country in this international tournament.
And then I think Mio-kun and George represent the US player past years, right?
Yeah, I played
Yeah.
in 2015 and also 2017.
Oh, so 2 years.
I played it in 2016, but I didn't. I don't think I registered for 2017 because time
So-
problem. I don't remember.
So do you guys playing this year?
I'm planning on playing in the qualifiers, but I was busy last weekend, so I didn't play in that one.
Oh,
Yeah, I was busy last weekend as well. So, but I'm definitely gonna. Yeah, we'll see if I can qualify for it.
Yeah, there's 4 more qualifiers for the US, so
Yeah.
I'm planning to play in those.
and I heard playing those qualification rounds, they play in like strange time because we have like different time zone, right?
No, the
Or is it-
qualifiers for the US are always at the same time. It's
Same
listed
time,
on the
okay.
website.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think the time is like okay. Yeah, it's like what for?
They're like in the middle of the day on a Saturday every week.
Yeah. Is that in the afternoon? But then the IORMC, the real tournament, is like in really weird time. It's like 7 a.m. for Eastern time, and then it's like 4 a.m. for Pacific time. I was like, what?
they need to play when they just woke up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it's hosted by Korean Mahjong League.
Okay.
Wait, XGeo, didn't you like fall asleep once or something?
Not talk about that.
Okay.
But
I think that was a game you were also playing with Asafin, right?
Yeah, I was really tired. It was the last Hanchan. Like I closed my eyes during the break between the 3rd and 4th game. And then when I woke up, it was like South 2.
So what happened? Did you came back?
No, I got 4th.
Your equipment is awesome here, right?
He got 3rd though. I still have the replay link.
That's called a neochi in Japanese.
Yeah.
So you did it on the real tournament, but it wasn't because of the strange time. That's kind
Yeah.
of sad.
Yeah, I stayed up really late during that, and then I fell asleep.
Yeah, that's kind of strange. Like, should I sleep or should I just wake,
Yeah.
not go to the bed, like just playing?
I think I pulled an all-nighter for my 2016 IORMC because I'm pretty sure I can't wake up that early. Even if I wake up, I'm probably gonna not think about anything. So
I see. So I think there's like many players are playing right now for this IORMC. So as a previous U.S. representative, do you guys have any advice for them?
I think you just have to do well in the qualifiers. I feel like in the qualifiers, even it's not that many games, honestly. So you have to be very stable, like when you play them. Because in 2016, I played in the qualifiers, but my score wasn't high enough because I guess there's a lot of variance in it. So my style is just to play a very stable style, so you can place consistently high in the rankings. But sometimes there will be people that get really lucky and get like some really good games, and then it might be a little bit difficult to catch up to them in the number of sessions that are left.
I see. Any advice, Mio-kun?
yeah, I totally agree with XGeo there. Because I think in one round of IRMC you gotta play 4 games or 3 games. I think it was 4 games, right?
For the qualifiers, it's 4 games per session.
Yeah. In one session, you have to play 4 games, and then, like, even if you don't have like a very high score for like each hanchang, but if you add up these 4, you could actually be really good in the rankings, and I think that's what I did in 2016. I think I had one really good session that's just absolutely crazy hand just come to me. But then the other ones, I just try to play a very stable, avoid minus points at all costs. I think that's really important.
What about like should they go to sleep or not to sleep?
Well, for the qualifiers, I think you should definitely sleep.
Yeah, the qualifiers are during the day, so that's not a problem.
Yeah, but then for the actual match, it depends. Like, I'm not a very early waking person, so I just pull an all-nighter.
Okay, but that's totally up to the player.
Yeah, that's up to them.
But should they prepare for Red Bull or not?
Definitely.
I know Nima doesn't drink those stuff, so.
Yeah, I would probably, if I were to play in this, which I'm not planning on it, I would probably just pull an all-nighter too. I'm not going to wake myself up at 4. I'll just like take a nap during the day and then stay up through the night.
So you gotta prepare. You gotta prepare a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you do. Oh, but yeah, it's tough if you have to play Mahjong at 4 in the morning.
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
Oh, my recommendation is prepare for the chewing gum.
I don't think that works for me, but it depends on the person again.
I mean, having to chew on something would theoretically help keep you awake, I think.
Yeah.
But I think like it's kind of rude to chew gum while playing in a Jiangsu, so I never play Mahjong with chewing gum with me, so it might be kind of weird,
George can chew the gummy.
Yeah, I like gummy candies. inside joke.
So you guys want to talk anything else for the IRMC? That's good. Should we move on to the next topic? Sure.
Yeah, that's all I have to say about it. Honestly, unless there are any questions.
Let's take a look at the question. There's no question, but today a lot of comment. I think George loved by a lot of people. Eric said George, and
Yep.
he also said I love you.
Yeah.
And great thing.
Thanks to all my fans.
How
Thank you very
did you
much.
get those fans?
Yeah, teach me, senpai.
Oh.
Ooh. You just have to be cool like me.
Okay. So Nima, so let's move on to the next topic. Maybe MJ Soul?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So I guess I'll just start with it.
Okay.
So in China, there's this new Riichi Mahjong game that's just been released. That is the we don't really have like an official English name for it yet, but we'll just call it Mahjong Soul now. And I've been streaming this for some time recently, and then this game is just released literally like 2 weeks ago, and it's a really good, well-made game, I would say. I'll put it up on the screen for now. Let me see, how can I screen share? 1 second. Oh, let me see. There we go. I think I shared that in my
Yeah,
call.
let me give me
Yeah.
a second to pull it up.
All right. So while you were pulling this up, I'll just keep talking about it. So, this game is released like 2 weeks ago, and then we are actually working on a Chinese version, English version of this game. So right now, since the game is just released, we still want to, fix the current version first. Then we'll try to make it into basically translate it into English. So I see you put it up. So let me just quickly introduce about this game. So this is the main menu. You can see right here we have 3 options. The first option is ranked match. The second option is tournaments. The third option is private match, essentially. So in ranked matches, it works differently than the 10-hole rankings, but it still share like a point system and stuff. And then you have different ranks, such as the first one is basically the bronze room, the silver room, the gold room, and then the gyoku room, jade room or something. This is basically the ranking system now. And then the tournaments, there haven't been a tournament yet. I think we're still working on this system right now, but we do expect lots of tournament plays on this game. And then there's their private match, so you can basically create a room. Also, you can create a bot room with the players, and then when you create a room, it has a room number on it. So basically, you can send this number to your friends so they can play in a private match with you. And why not we just start a quick bot game with the bots and see how this game is about. So you can see this. It has some like anime stuffs in it. Like you have these characters and stuffs, and has very good animations, almost same as like Zhang Yumeng. And then You can also put out emotes. That's very important, I think, about this game. So like you can socialize more, I think, with this game. And yeah, let's kind of focus on this game for now.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, like, why did you, or the developers, like, who are the developers, and like, why did they decide to start making this?
Okay, so I didn't know them directly before. Okay, my computer is Riichi. I didn't know them directly before, but I know there were a bunch of Mahjong lovers, Riichi Mahjong lovers in China, and then they thought, you know, there's not a Chinese language based Mahjong game in China right now, so they wanted to make a Chinese language Riichi Mahjong game. So then, wow, why is it going Hanchang? Okay, let me quit this game now because I think we okay, I'll smoke it here. Never mind. Then, the thing is, they also really love the animations and stuff in Jiangliumeng, so they are like, you know, why not we just make a fancy Mahjong game? So yeah, that's how they came up with this.
But it is looks interesting compared with Tenho. There's more like actions or effects,
Yes.
and also those characters. And then the tiles looks pretty clean, so it's easier to see.
Yeah, exactly. And then, you know, so also like Tenho may be a little bit too intense for some players because, you know, they're kind of new, and then also, you know, a lot of Riichi Mahjong player they started playing Riichi Mahjong because of anime and manga. So like the devs think, you know, this style of game could really fit their interest. So yeah, and
So
then
I have another question.
yes.
So how many people are playing? How many like players are there right now?
So this game was released 2 weeks ago, and then now we have pretty sure over 3,000 players in this game right now. Yes, and yeah, and then there's a ranking system. I think I'm currently still in the I'm in how many games? 800 something. But yeah, people are still trying to grind their ranks and stuff. So yeah, there are lots of active players already in this game.
Yeah, and then I was just wondering, like, how good is like the average player now?
From what I know, most Chinese Tenho players, they're actually playing this game right now because, you know, this game just came out and then they want to grind their ranks to prove themselves on this game as well. But yeah, I'll say the higher ranks are actually really good levels, and then, you know, there's also the lower ranks where players. There are lots of new players actually come into this game because this game is actually very noob friendly, because you can actually check like the Yakus in the settings tab. So like, you know, even players are still learning it, they can log on to this game and then they don't need to worry about, you know, forgetting some Yaku. They can just check it in the settings tab.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, and then there's also like a tutorial, like a simple Riichi Mahjong tutorial when you make the account. So it kind of teach you how to play Mahjong, play Riichi Mahjong. Just like what I said, like it teaches you 3 Yakus first, like to remember 3 Yakus, which is Tanyao, Riichi, and Yakuhai. Just yeah, I think the tutorial system is actually pretty good.
And then when are the other languages being developed?
Yeah, so I mentioned this game just came out 2 weeks ago. So right now we don't have like an exact date, but we will start developing the English version in around 1 month or 2 months, and then
Whoa.
yeah, from that then I don't think it will take too much time. So expect like 2 months for this game to come out. Okay, I just took it for. And then, you know, this game still has some features that is not in yet, like the friend system. They're definitely making it right now. And then so you can have like a friend list in your game. So like you can actually invite your friends to your private matches. And right now, for the characters we only have 2 characters now, but we're definitely gonna be having more. And there's like the your backpack. There's some probably gonna be have some fun items in it. And then there's also the currency system. So how the currency system works, you can see here there are like several coins here, and then these coins you use them in ranked matches. In ranked matches, not in the copper room. So copper room you don't have to spend your coins, but in the silver rooms and above you have to pay coins to get in there. But you get paid back based on how much point you had at the end of the game. So yeah, if you had like more points, then you basically are earning the currency rather than losing it. You know, you can also earn back your like the entry fee for each game. So
what happens if you run out of coins?
Yeah, so what happens if you run out of coins is each day, if your coins run below 4,500, you can actually get 4,500 coins for free. So it's per day kind of thing. And then if you really want to play, I think you can actually pay to win, but that feature is not in there yet. So
wait, so purchases can influence the gameplay?
No, I was just playing quote unquote for pay to win, you know, but purchases cannot affect.
Okay, so you can just buy more coins.
Yeah, you just buy more coins, and I do believe we're gonna have some paid characters in here. So
that was a good one, George.
What are the blue? What are like the blue circle next to the coins?
Oh, that is just basically a higher currency that is not in the game yet, but we'll see. And then you can check the paifu here as well. Let's see a paifu yesterday I played. Yeah, you can check the paifu. You can also check which hand you want to look at. Also tells you who dealt into who, or is a Ryukoku, and then you can go for the Jin. But yeah, that's basically about this game. Oh, one more very important thing. For ranking systems, you know, in Tenho, you get fixed points by your standings after a game, right? So like for Tokujo, is like first place gets how much again? 75?
60?
Yeah, 60, something like that? 60 yeah. But then in this game, you actually get more points, like get more PTs if you score a bigger, if you ended up with more scores at the end of a game.
Oh, so the score does matter. Yeah,
so the score actually matters. So for example, you took up first place with 40,000 points, but you get less PTs than a first place with 60,000 points. So yeah, your ending points actually matters in this game. So right now my ranking is at 908. Shit, I lost some points, but I have some of my American, like some Chinese players who's who's living in the United States now. Like this 11th guy, I know him. He I think we played at LAPOM one day.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
There was that one. It was before I go back to. Wait, when was that? Yeah, it was before summer.
Is it Hayward?
Yeah, Hayward. Yeah.
Oh, he is very good player.
Yeah, he's already in 11th, and I was like, okay, I guess you're grinding a lot. Oh, yeah. I also forgot to show one thing: is your profile page. Well, my profile sucks, but well, first of all, it shows your rankings here at the top right, and then this tab is really interesting. It shows your recent big hand. So my recent big hand is like a by month, so it shows like up here. I've checked like my opponents like profile and stuff, and some of them just have like a Yakuman Daisanga sitting there. I was like, oh no. So you could kind of like show off your big hands, and then there's the your play style meter kind of thing. You can see, yeah, my speed is actually 0 for some reason because probably I don't have much good hands recently. And then there's also the how attack, defense, speed, and luck is what they are. So basically, it gives you a meter on what kind of style you're playing recently. And then there's the your tracker, your game trackers, like yeah, the last 10 games, what are standings and stuff. And then there's more, more detailed stats, your top rate, something rate, and then your hoju rate, your sumo rate, your roam rate. And then there's the how many times have you done each yaku. It also has all the Yakuma in there. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get the Chulin to 1 or something, but yeah.
That is so interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, this game could be Brian could be really good.
Oh,
He's in the first place. Still, he does con and then call Riichi. And
no, he doesn't con and call Riichi. He daiming cons. Or no, he pawns and then showmean cons later. That's his special move.
Time. Yeah.
Then so what I can say about the English version now, so yeah, it's gonna start developing around like 2 months from now, and then expected to be out in around like September also. And by then, I'm pretty sure the tournament system will be on. So we might have like a Chinese-US tournament, like the Chinese versus the US. We don't know yet, but yeah, please look forward to it.
That's good to know. Like, this is only China right now, and
yes,
shoot it on 2 weeks, and they already have 3,000 players. I know, compared with the Tenko.
Anyone can play. It's just only in Chinese, though.
Yeah, it's just only in Chinese though. But then, yeah, if any of you guys want to try it, you can, and you don't understand Chinese or something, you can always find me on Twitch or on Discord. You can just ask me what are these, and I can teach you what are these. So yeah, feel free to log on to it and take a look.
Yeah, and I put the links below on this video, so you guys could jump into this game.
Yeah, I know it's already pretty popular on the Mahjong Discord.
Yeah.
And I'm basically streaming it almost every night now. I'm not sure about weekends, but yeah, find me on Twitch. I'll post like the my streams in the Discords and other stuff, and also on LAPOM Facebook page. Masa is also helping me posting my streams, so thank you very much.
No problem. So that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, that's all for the Mahjong solo now.
Okay. Oh, so I was gonna actually say that George came up with, like, if you're paid, you get the good hands or whatever. So that's also in the Twitter on the with the Japanese Tenho players. If they pay, does Tsuno-san could give us like really good hands or what? That's just a rumor, and I don't think that's gonna happen. But that was kind of interesting.
Maybe April Fools. Maybe April Fools we can have like a
So have you ever tried paying to the Tenho, George?
No.
No.
Oh, I did.
I did once too.
I did. I think it's not that different.
I heard that in Janryumon though, like it felt like.
Oh, in Janryumon, yeah. Janryumon was kind of rigged, but.
Really?
Yeah, there are rumors about it, but I can't say anything.
That is interesting. But hope that money doesn't, affect to the game. I think that should be fair.
be fair.
Okay.
What
Anything?
if I don't like anime?
You can just ignore all the anime characters and stuff. So you can also mute your opponents so you don't get bothered by their emotes.
Are there going to
Yeah.
be like more normal characters?
What about we put you on there?
Yes.
Since you're so popular, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna make a character. Oh, there might be a like English version exclusive character. We don't know yet.
Oh,
Maybe like a King Patsu, a blonde.
that's kind of nice.
Western.
That would be
We don't
interesting.
know yet. Yeah, that would be pretty interesting.
Who is making the character design?
Some Chinese dude.
It's well done though.
But yeah, but still during a closed beta, they have already fixed so many stuffs. For example, I think in closed beta they had like a 修四习 that was turning into Haleman or something. It was pretty sad, but they kind of fixed it. And I've also seen like screenshots with like 5 9 pins being discarded. Yeah, but they kind of fixed it now. So after like good reviews and stuff, they actually released it. But then they're still trying to fix some small bugs and stuff. So yeah.
I'm just wondering, is there a way to spectate in like Tenho?
I'm pretty sure there will be. There isn't one right now. But there definitely will be, yes.
Yeah, so will it have like all the features that Tenho does, like custom rules and lobbies and stuff?
For the custom rules, we're not sure yet because in private matches right now it's still set. It's still under development, so we'll see.
And then what about 3-player Mahjong?
No 3-player yet.
Sounds good to me.
I mean,
I
they
like 3-player.
they have AI though, right? So they could just stick an AI player in there if you don't have enough people.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's all I have to say about this game now. So
Thank you, but that was really interesting and a good information. So, Nima-san, should we move on to the next topic?
Yeah, so that would be all of the translations that we've been working on recently.
Oh yeah.
Okay, which one should we start with?
Let's go with the Mio-kun's work.
oh, I just stopped screen sharing, by the way. Should
Yeah.
I keep it on? Okay, I'll turn it off. Okay. Yeah, let's start with my translation works now.
Okay. So here we have an article.
Whoa.
Yeah, this article is from Mahjong Watch.
Yes. So we have announced a little bit like a couple weeks ago, but we are not launching the website yet because we still need to work a little bit. But this is the good example that Mio-kun finished the translation really quick. So let's show them how it looks like.
Oh, I haven't seen this either.
Oh, really?
You should read it, dude.
Yeah.
But, yeah, this I took this article from Masa. It's Ogai Hiromi Pro. It's his like lecture on Mahjong manners. Because he thinks right now like the manners in especially in those Jiangsos are starting to fall a bit. So he's kind of concerned about this problem. So he started to write these articles about it. So in this this is his first article on it. So he talked about something like for example, just how some stuff might seem really small, like how to declare points and not do like kabeuchi or like some that manner moves. He doesn't think like slamming the tile is the problem anymore because nobody does it, but there are some smaller stuff that needs to be noticed. So yeah, I do think these articles are very good. But you guys should definitely check it out. And you know, learning manners, I think, is even more important than learning the skills in Mahjong.
Yeah, some of them, yes. Then I think in the English Riichi community, I think there's gonna be new manners based on the cultural difference. That's okay, but before that things could happen, some of the history they have to develop those manners. So I think it's good to know.
Yeah, I think, you know, because of the society is so different. I mean, having different manner is kind of okay, but still, like, we do want to base on the actual good manners in Japanese mahjong. So, I also feel. So sorry, go ahead.
Miyoko and George played at the WRC, right? So you guys faced like many other countries' players. Did you? Because I know those two. We played together. They're manner-wise, skill-wise, very good. Did you guys felt any kind of the things you wanted to notice
From the Japanese players?
and the other country player? Like, what's the difference, or what they should do for better?
It's hard to say. I feel like it still really depends on the individual or how they were like. I feel like, especially for the Western community, there's no really standard way of teaching people how to play or manners. And also, like, I don't think Western community really emphasizes manners the same way that Japanese do. So, for example, like a really common thing is that Western players will take their draw a tile and then put the tile in their hand and sort it before discarding. That's a really common one. Another one is like pushing the wall forward a little bit. That's not like, people don't really think about like how easy it is for people to reach the tiles when they draw. So I always have to tell people I play with to move the wall forward and to discard before they like draw or take the tile after like pwn or something.
I see.
And then also, like, I guess another one is like putting the Rinshan tile down is something that not a lot of people teach as well.
I see.
Yeah, it's really important. Like, so when I was visiting the Japanese Jiangsu back in Shanghai, like the Japanese owner, like, it's probably the first thing he teaches me, just to always put the Linshan tile down before you flip the Dora. So.
and it from my experience, it's kind of funny because the following the Japanese way is not always correct. But let's say I kind of surprised when I first time met the George, Miyokun. They play really good, and then Nima surprises me too. And then the players' knowledge are huge. Some of the good ones, they know a lot of stuff, but some of the beginner players, they don't know, or there's no information, I think.
You mean not? You mean manner wise?
Yeah, manner, skills, everything. So how come there's a huge gap? Is it because of the play more games, or how do you guys?
I think it's just because like Western players are very casual, maybe.
Casual.
And then they don't really, I guess, care about the manners.
I see.
I definitely agree with that. So, when I was so I travel back to Shanghai time to time, and then I play with some of my friends back there. And then in those Jiangsu, sometimes I meet those, my peer, so some, guys at my same age or something, and then they're playing in there, but then I can tell like their manner is not that, not that good. And then I figure out, oh, they're probably just more casual players, while just our table is just like Shinken is like so intense and stuff. Yeah, it's definitely, there's definitely something about it.
I also think that a lot of Western players use Japanese drama or anime as a
Oh, that's very true. Yes.
So that's why like stuff like Kikizumo, where you pull the tile in when you sumo, is very common.
Yeah,
And also
like
slamming tiles as well. So people like think that like that's how you play Mahjong, and then they try to like copy that because they think it looks cool.
I used to did it in the LA Janso too, because I didn't know anything about manner.
Yeah. Also, like even in Japan and Janso, like from the very first time that you sit down, they teach you these manners, like push the wall forward, put the Rinshan tile down. The staff will always tell you that from like as soon as you start playing. But in the West, they don't care.
At the experience from the LA Janso, it's gonna be like a lot of funny experience and the learning lesson, because without manners, because it's shamisen okay, it's not okay, but they do, and then sakizumo is even okay, and they do, and they'll return the different tiles. If there's a call for pong or chi, they just return the different tiles.
yeah.
Like, so many things happen, and then of course there's gonna be a lot of fight or argument.
Yeah.
But people never learn. They just kept playing the same way. So it is kind of funny without manners.
Yeah, but I think keeping a manner sometimes also keeps the players away, because like they think learning manners is a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Like, they don't want to care about it sometimes. But on the other hand, I also think it's how you keep the players in it at the same time. For example, like not when you run or something, not looking at like the guy you run from to declare points. I think it's, I mean, you know, like if you directly look at them and said, "Oh, Hasen this," then it might irritate them, and then they might be mad and then not play it anymore, right? So I think keeping your manner also keeps the player actually in this game. So
last goal, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And anything you felt, Nima?
I would say part of it is that there's just no good resources for manners, at least not until recently. There was a chapter on manners in Riichi Book 1, but I think that was about it for a long time. And even then, Riichi Book 1 didn't come out until maybe a couple years ago. And yeah, for casual players, they probably wouldn't have seen that even.
I see.
But yeah, it depends a lot on the people you play with, because if they don't care about your mannerisms, then you're not going to care either.
The most thing I felt is like playing with the good manner players, that the game itself is kind of smooth.
Yes.
I think that really depends on the skill level of the player.
The skill level?
Like I've played with good players that have really bad manners, like in Johnson. The game goes really fast.
Yeah, there's like the grandpas, right?
Yeah,
Grandpas are
Yeah, sometimes they like sakizmo and stuff.
I mean, they're just actually like literally throwing the tiles out when they discard.
Yeah.
Like, but the game goes fast.
And what about like what do you feel if the guy pays the timbo with like throwing away?
Yeah, I think that's pretty rude. I also know this one guy who, whenever he gets mad, he pays you with all hundreds. Like if it's 2,000 points, he'll give you all the hundreds.
That's the nice one. And then you keep it, right? But the same thing, like in the later situation, if there's like a Rinchan, then everyone's gonna go out of the hundreds. So they need to exchange the points, and that keeps the time, right? Takes the time. That is interesting, George. Okay, so I hope there's like a lot of players gonna read those our Mio-kun's work, or we're trying to do some translation work from Japanese Mahjong Watch, the news site. So those are the examples. Like we're gonna launch soon. We cannot guarantee when, but soon.
How do you choose which articles you want to translate?
The first thing, this is the Manner series, so this was a really good one. Me and Shisho and then everybody read before the LAPOM started, and then we thought this is really really important. That's why we begged them to let us translate first, and then some of the article is shared by other company get involved. Those we need to get approved from the Mahjong Watch and the company. But the direct article from the Mahjong Watch, they say it's okay to translate anytime.
Yeah. I also had one more thing I wanted to talk about. Someone mentioned earlier that sometimes they think the Japanese way isn't always the correct way, and I have something to say about that.
Okay.
One thing is that for example, like the Japanese way, when the dealer rolls the dice, they say that the dealer has to break the wall. But personally, I find it a lot easier for the person who made the wall to break it. But that's why I don't know. So that's why I think like sometimes the manners isn't always correct.
Yeah, thank you. That's a good point.
Yeah, but you know, I'm kind of more used to breaking the wall myself, and I'm the dealer. But I mean, I'm fine with anything. So.
Yeah, because I saw like a debate recently, like on Facebook about that. Personally, I find it more convenient for that person to break it.
Yeah,
But I mean, if I'm the dealer, I can break it. It's just a little bit slower for me.
So there's a secret. So maybe we should write about the secrets to counter the wall to break.
The secret? Oh, you mean to how to count which side it is?
Yeah, mostly like 10, 11, 12. It's like too much, right? To count from the left side.
You just remember left 8, right 6.
Yeah, those are the stuff. I think that's also good to write about.
No, he's talking about if you roll a high number, you count from the other side of the wall.
Yes.
Oh, that. Okay.
But if it's like 9 or 8, it's like really annoying.
9
is
like,
the most annoying one. Yeah.
Yeah, I know 8 is the toughest one. I always go slow, like 4 and 4.
Yeah.
Also, one more thing, like I was at a WRC and we were playing in the side event with the Japanese pros, and then one of the pros told me that he thinks I should build my wall differently because it looks like I'm cheating, apparently.
Oh, I think it's the back side on top. It's the right way, but sometimes the front one goes to the back on top.
Yeah, so I used to always build my wall I build 2 rows of 17, and then I put the row and then I stack them on top of each other. But I always take the row that's in front and put it on the back row, and then the pro told me that it looks like Tsumame Gaishi, so it's like it's like a cheating technique. So he told me that I should always put the back row on top of the front row.
Yeah,
to me, I didn't really think that was like a big deal, because so you can't even do Tsumame Gaishi before you even deal. That's not how it works. But he says the motion, because the motion looks like cheating. It would get my opponents accustomed to the motion, so I could pull it off easier later. But I don't think that logic is very true. But I changed the way I do it now, so now I always put the back on the front row.
I'm still building the wall in the Chinese way, though.
Oh, which way?
He has a very weird way of building the wall.
See, you're just saying Chinese way is weird. It's actually not weird. So in Chinese Mahjong, because normally you have 18 tiles, right?
I see.
In the row, and then
it's longer.
So people basically build 6 piles. So 3 6 piles.
I see 6.
With the double. I almost said double cheeseburger, but with one tile above each other, right? Like three stacks of these, and then I break the middle one into half, and then put it on the 2 sides, and then break the other one to put it on 2 sides. It's kind of hard to explain, but
yeah,
XGeo knows how to do it.
He doesn't build 2 rows that are flat. He builds 3 rows, but the 3 rows are already stacked. and then he breaks those and puts them together.
So let's tape it in the YouTube next time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's kind of a weird way to make a wall, but yeah, it's most likely a Chinese way. That's how I learned. So
Yeah, and the tiles are bigger too, so it'd be hard to stack them like you do with Japanese tiles.
That is a very good point.
I see. Okay. So those are the article samples we are working on. Thanks to Mio-kun again. And we still need a translator, or not even translator, but if you could write a good article, we need more editors or writers. Please help us, George.
I don't think my Japanese is good enough yet.
No, you could write a
write
good
stuff.
English articles, not the translation part.
Oh, I'll think about it.
Because he's cool.
Yeah, isn't Mio-kun working on like the Mahjong virtual YouTuber subs?
I'm trying to work on it, but
Are you gonna do that or no?
I actually saw like English subtitles on some of the videos already.
I looked at the channel a little bit, but it seems like the videos are really long.
Yeah.
It's her stream basically. So, but she also made some like those lectures on like noob stuffs, you know, how to make a hand, what's suji and stuff like that. But on these lecture videos, I've seen like English translation on it already, so I'm not sure about it because you know I'm pretty busy recently. Well, we'll see.
Okay, so now let's move on to the recent work done by Nima.
Okay.
Nima, can you scroll down to the most the end? then
Yes.
Let's show Mio-kun.
I think that was me playing in the Rankers Carnival, right?
Yes.
You can
So,
even see your little name badge.
Yep. Well, you can't really read like Mio on it, but yeah, that was me.
Yeah, so
Like-
we're gonna add some the credit for the translator or someone they could help us, you know, as a how do you say credit?
Yeah, credit.
Mhm.
So this is the Mio-kun. He's a very tall and a nice guy. Okay. So should we go to the Nima's work?
Okay, so the Tenho stuff then?
Yes. Let's go with the Tenho stuff.
Okay. So here, this is the page I translated stuff for, about kind of just about how Tenho works, and like a list of rules for like in English.
Yes. And then he even made a put the how do you say English add-on for the Tenho with the Google Chrome.
Yeah,
The extension.
Yeah, that was developed by some other people, but I made a video of how to like install it and just the basic usage of it, I suppose.
So again, we sent the email to Mr. Tsuno, and then we asked him like, is it okay to translate? And then he said, that's fine, as long as we're using it in a nice way, not the bad way.
In a bad way. How would that even work?
I don't know.
Getting profit out of it? I don't know.
maybe something like that.
Or cheating?
So we asked Nima to work on to translate some of the Tenho's helpful instruction on the manual ranking page. So how hard was it, Nima?
I mean, most of it was simple because it's laid out very clearly. It's just a lot, so it would be tough for anyone who doesn't know Japanese to go through all that stuff.
Well, hopefully his work could help for the new players or the someone's gonna start the 10 holes from now.
Yeah, and also we have to give credit to the people who made that extension.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know who that is, but it's pretty well known now among the English speaking community. And there's also a French version too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, maybe the people who made it were like French or Canadian, so I don't know.
Oh, to speak both, and maybe Japanese. So that's 3 language.
Mm-hmm.
So let's find those guys and then let's thank them.
If you ask on the Discord, they probably are there.
Okay.
Okay, and then the last thing is the videos, the Mahjong Watch videos.
Yes, I have not watched it yet. This is like too new. He worked on really hard yesterday.
Yeah,
Was it yesterday?
Yeah, I spent like most of yesterday working on the subtitles for this one video. It's like it's like 18 minutes long, but it took like 8 hours.
I feel so sorry. Recently, we are bugging Nima so much about the margin. Like I don't know how many hours he worked for those translation. Like we asking him like a lot of stuff. So thank Nima. But this just started, so we might ask him more.
Yeah, it's no problem.
Help.
Yeah, it's a lot of it is just like the translation is okay, but putting the subtitles with the right timing, that YouTube kind of makes it easy, but it still takes a long time.
Yeah, I know that feel.
Yeah, so the thing I worked on yesterday was was subtitles for this video. It's Mahjong no Takumi, right? So that's a series of videos on Mahjong Watch's YouTube channel, where they have Murakami Pro play through a Hanchan and explain like all of his thoughts while he's playing.
Which is getting very popular in Japanese community too.
Oh, really? Yeah. So, yeah, I just did the first one for now. I'm planning on working on all of the other ones, but it takes a while. So maybe they'll all be done by like the winter time or something.
Okay, so let's take a look.
Okay, so just jump to the start of the match here. So we'll watch maybe a minute or two of this.
Okay.
対局開始しましょう。よろしくお願いします。
お願いします。
さあまずはトン1局村上さんの親からスタートしましたドラマ白です。
かなり高ハイパイですね。
高ハイパー来ましたね。
はい。でドラガン白と。
スタンダードでまず
Oh,
手配いただい
and
た
whoever
時
they
何
watch
から
this with the subtitle, if it's
まあ
too fast,
最短で
then there was a slow button, right?
それは親
And
だ
also,
からっていう
you
の
could
関係あ
move
り
the
ます？
caption
親でも子
to
でも基本的には同じです。
somewhere where you
はい。
some like upper part
ス
or
トレートにこう
wherever you wanted to put it
こ
in.
ういう時はまあ
That was a good
いいそうか
information
ハイ
from
パー
Brian.
そうですね。
Yeah,
で
both
僕の
those
場合
things.
はまあ例えば
It's
By the way, he watched a lot of documentary on the YouTube with the subtitle.
yeah, with if you move the subtitles, it might not stay on the screen. Like if you move them a little bit, because you're like, oh, it'll be fine. But then like the way YouTube's subtitles work, it might just like fly off the screen or something on a later one. Like see some of these are getting cut off. Yeah, I don't. But yeah, there is that option where you can choose the speed of the video, and of course that will give you more time to go through the subtitles as well. So yeah, these videos were really interesting. I haven't finished the series yet, but I will as I subtitle them. But yeah, from the ones I've watched, there's a lot of good insight, and you learn a lot about how a professional, a top-level pro thinks as he plays. And if I'm not mistaken, there's going to be another one coming out later with a different guest. Is that right?
I think so. We don't know when, but they say it might they come out with a different crew.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, again, this is on Mahjong Watch's YouTube channel. It might be a little hard to search for if you don't know Japanese, so maybe we can put the link to the video in the description too.
Okay, later let's do it.
Okay.
But this chat finished, so we might need to fix a little bit. Or Mahjong Watch said that that's fine, just like 30 minutes ago while I was driving. So, but we still need to, we still need to work on a little bit more.
Oh wait, what did they say? I missed that.
They say I think English is okay, but we need to review it. Mm-hmm. And then at the end, we should put the credit for Nima and LAPOM.
Oh, okay.
They say that's okay to do that. So anyway.
All right, I think that was the last thing we had to talk about today.
So let's talk about how, since Nima and Mio-kun could help translation, and then George doing some other translation work. So let's talk about how hard is the translation.
I think it's pretty difficult, but it depends on your level of Japanese. I've only been studying for 4 years, and it's still pretty difficult for me.
That's good, George. I do read the Japanese. I could understand, but I cannot translate into the English. That's my bad part.
Yeah, it's probably easier to translate into a language like that you are more familiar with. Like even like for me, my Japanese isn't like fluent or anywhere near there, but I understand it well enough that I could be able to translate it into like natural sounding English. At least that's what I hope.
Yeah,
That
like
helps
if you can do the initial translation, I can fix it into better English.
Well, then you can help me then.
Yeah, it gives me like a basis to work with, because sometimes I can read like a Japanese sentence but I don't understand it. But if you give me like a first draft, like a hint of like what it means, then I can go back and like kind of check it and also try to fix it into better English. That's what I usually do for my like manga translation work. I don't actually do the translating, I just edit it to English.
Yeah, for me right now, well, I'm working kind of like a translator now, because I can speak like 3 languages, right? Chinese, English, and Japanese. And then the thing is, for me, translating Japanese into English is kind of interesting, I could say, because neither of them is my native language. So, it's pretty fun. And then, I also did the first article on the manners and stuff. And then I know some of the sentences definitely need some, corrections or maybe editing, just as XGeo said. But then
I can do that then.
Yeah, but you can be the helper now, right?
Yeah, my first language is English. So.
Yeah, so then I also did translate some of the Japanese articles into like Mahjong articles into Chinese before. So I think translating stuff is just pretty normal for me right now. Yeah.
Okay, but to me it is very difficult. And then slash the margin tone into the English. That's really difficult.
Yeah, like right now I'm streaming mostly in English, but sometimes I still use like Japanese terms sometimes. I can't like just totally turn into English mode yet on Mahjong, but I'm trying pretty hard. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like where do you draw the line? Like do you refer to everything in English, including like the yaku and all of that, or do you still say the yaku in Japanese, but you use English terms for everything else? And then like what about concepts that don't have a good English translation like Suji. Like it's
well,
it's really tough.
yeah, it's pretty tough. So in the first article, you can see some of it. I basically put like explanations to these terms. Because I mean, if I want to explain it in English, then it cannot be a word anymore. So I just put out the word in Japanese and then do it in the brackets. Says, oh, this means blah 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 blah. So that's what I did in my article. You can look for like tabeuchi something.
Yeah, we have it right here.
Yeah. And stuff like that. And then when I was streaming, sometimes I even call the tiles in Japanese still, and not calling it 9-pin, but still calling it Q-pin or something sometimes. But yeah, I'm trying to fix that right now.
But that's a lot of work. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. But I hope whoever they'll read those articles or the manga or the videos, I hope it helps the new players to understand better. And we need more helper.
Yes.
Because there's going to be tons of the article. Or even the 18 minutes video takes 8 hours. That means 1 hour the pro game with the commentary to translate. I can't even think like how many days it will take to translate.
Oh yeah, that would be very, very tough.
Right? But what was some of the channels said it's okay to do us to put some English translation, but we're kind of scared because lack of the manpower.
Yeah. There's barely enough people to just commentate like streamed games that we have over here, so
yeah. Again, the commentator George asked for the rankers commentator, and I think that was a super nice one. So do you guys do like commentating or the streaming like very often?
I don't stream or commentate very often, so need more practice, I think.
As you know, I'm streaming like recently on the Mahjong Soul game, and I try to commentate sometimes, but I still want to keep the stream fun. So I sometimes like go off topic on some other stuffs. But yeah, I really love commentating stuffs. I started commentating Mahjong in Chinese when we have these online tournaments, team tournaments and stuff. And then that's how I get into it. And then I think commentating for the Rankers Carnival was kind of tough because players play very fast, not like the actual the Japanese pro matches. They kind of like wait for the commentators actually.
But then they have played super fast, so
and then the Rankers Carnival plays very fast, and then so I told XGeo, okay, so you're just gonna look at the top 2 players. I'm gonna look at the bottom 2 players. Let's just split it like that. And it turns out it's working pretty good. So
and then at the same time, you need to look for like how many weights left. In the I could understand. Yeah. So difficult.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult, but it was fun. So I'm looking forward to do more. Actually, I actually love comic playing stuff.
Yeah, I would do it again.
Yeah. Do you feel like playing and then commentating? It's like 2 different things, right?
Yeah, it's really different. So being able to see 4 players' hands is different from only seeing your hand, right?
Yes.
And then also like a very good way to learn or practice Mahjong is actually to this is what I learned from the owner of the Shanghai Japanese Jiangsu, to sit at one corner at the table to look at only 2 of the players' hands. And it's also very interesting. You can learn so many stuff from it.
Yeah, I like to watch from the behind too.
Yeah, just sitting at a corner, just look at 2 of them. It's going to be really interesting.
So like watching it also, you could learn a lot of stuff. But not many people, they don't like to watch some others playing, right? They want to play.
Yeah, sometimes it can be pretty boring.
Sometimes, yes.
And also, I feel like sometimes when you watch, you learn the wrong things
Oh,
because you
Yeah,
don't really
sometimes.
you don't really understand why the people did what they did necessarily unless you ask them. But sometimes you can't ask them. Like if I spectate on Tenho, which I do a lot, like if I like sometimes I see people do a lot of things, but I don't necessarily understand why they did it. So it's a little bit hard to learn sometimes.
You
mm.
might be able to do that in Mahjong Solo though. After they have the like the friend system.
You could chat.
Yeah, maybe in-game chat as well.
And Daniel mentioned something similar on one of the previous live streams we did, Daske. He talked about how the best way to learn by watching is to watch someone who's like one level above you. So like obviously you're not going to learn anything if you're watching players who are much worse than you, but if you're watching players who are much better than you might not be able to understand like the more intricate stuff that they do, and you might not be able to like just learn anything from it, even if they're really good players. So yeah, like Daniel said, watching someone one level above you, then you're good enough, you're close enough to their level to maybe be able to figure out what they're doing without being completely lost.
Yeah, I've heard him talk about that before, but I kind of disagree with it. But there are different ways of thinking about it.
I mean, if you can't ask them directly, then it's like sound, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with that way of thinking. But of course, if you
But
can,
if they're only like one level above you, I wouldn't necessarily trust like what they're doing is the right thing to do.
that's a fair point.
But those discussion is, I think, most important part.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I just have to watch a lot and then notice patterns. Like that's what I've been doing a lot recently.
Oh, again, I wanted to play Mahjong with you. Anything else? It's about, is it over 1 hour? Because I didn't count
It's
the time.
Yeah,
90 minutes already.
yeah, it's almost been an hour and a half. We had
Oh my goodness,
we
it's a special edition.
Yeah, we had a lot of stuff to talk about this time.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. So anything else you guys want to add some comments? Shout out.
Please come to my stream.
Okay, we're gonna put your links below.
Yeah.
And George, anything else?
I think there are a few real life tournaments coming up in North America pretty soon.
Yes.
Like
New
this
York
weekend,
Open.
there's the Seattle,
Oh yeah. So,
and then there's the Florida one in August, and then also North American Open. This October. Yep. And then again IRMC in November. So if you're in North America and want to play, just go to the Riichi.org and for the information.
Okay. So Nima, anything else?
No, nothing for me.
Okay, so I have a last question for George and Miyokun. You are Mahjong friends?
yeah, we met in the New York Open, right?
Yes.
Yeah, at the first New York Riichi Open. That's where we met each other.
No, my question was, am I your Mahjong friend, or are we all Mahjong friends?
Oh, are we Mahjong friends?
もちろん.
Yeah, what's all?
Yay! Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
That was the end of the show. I asked them, are we all Mahjong friends every time?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Even so from now on, we did this show for the Tuesday, but we need to change to the Thursday with the Nima. So should I keep doing this? Is it hard to understand?
I feel like it's part of the show now.
Yeah, it's part of the show now, so okay, we'll keep that.
Okay, I'll keep asking them. Okay. Thank you very much. Today, the guest was XGeo and Mio-kun. And then both of them has a lot of good information, a lot of interesting topics, and we might bother them again. But thank you very much.
Oh yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
So Nima-kun, anything else for the last comment?
No, I think we're through. You asked them if we're Mahjong friends, and so that's how we know the episode's over.
Okay. So see you next week, everyone.
Yep. Thank everyone for joining us, and good night.
Bye
Good night.
bye.